another night where I get so confused because we're just friends. The friends who undress, the friends with loose ends that kiss your neck. And I don't mind if you waste my time, cause I've got some I can't lose. Act like I don't need your love and you call my bluff, and that's all that I can ask of you. Well, I'm coming over. I thought I told her that I don't mind if our hearts get bruised, because we're just friends, friends of what and yeah, friends with regrets that wish you best. And oh, when it's over, well I know when the driver takes you home and the later kiss the dawn.
Hello guys, it's Tuesday for me. I was thinking I'd do like a little day in my life. I was gonna do one last week, but I was like really sick all of last week, so she's a little late, but it was fine. I woke up at like 9 today and it is currently 10:19. I've literally just been sat in my bed reading, and then I got up, did my skincare, put on my clothes. I decided to literally just wear this like plain white top because I was thinking I'd go to some thrift stores today because I am in desperate need for some winter sweaters. My wardrobe is like exclusively tank tops, like genuinely like exclusively tank tops. At home I would literally just wear my shorts or a skirt with a different tank top every single day, and that's just not cutting it. I've literally been wearing like this top or my black long sleeve with a different jacket every single day. Like I need some sweaters. I need something, especially because it will be only getting colder now that we're in November. There's like a lot of thrift stores around here. I saw one that looks like it'd be cheaper, like more like American Goodwill-esque, and then some that are like nicer, which I think that would be where I would look for like a good thick sweater, like a good jacket. I'm not in the sights for like a winter jacket yet, but I will probably be soon. But yeah, let's go eat breakfast. I literally eat the same thing every single day. I have a crumpet with PB&J, and like that's it. Like that's literally my breakfast every single day, and I will never get sick of it. I love a freaking PB&J. It's delicious. So let's go do that. Hey guys, my birthday was like a week ago, and I decided what better way to spend my birthday than go to a bookstore and buy some books. So I got quite a few, and I thought I'd show you guys. The stack is kind of giant, but you have to for your birthday, okay? First I'm gonna start with the one that I am the most excited about, and the one that I'm currently reading, and that is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. So I've read the entire Grishaverse trilogy, the whole Grishaverse book thing. So there's like a trilogy called Shadow and Bone, and then there's a duology that's the Six of Crows, and then there's this duology with King of Scars and then Rule of Wolves. And I've read every single one of these books like 2 to 3 years ago, right? And this book I could not find the paperback version of anywhere, and I have every single other book in this like series, in this world, in paperback. So I was like, I will not be reading this book until I get it in paperback, because all the other ones were like tabbed up, annotated, like tear stains. The first one from this duology I threw so hard at one point that like the whole front cover peeled off. Let's just say this is my favorite like universe of books, but so I was like, it'd be wrong to not have the last book and it like see my like initial impressions, and like you to be able to tell that I read this. Yeah, so this is the first one. That was like a really long way to explain it, but I had to for this one. The next book we have is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I have already read this series, but I really want to reread it, and I think it'd be a really fun series to annotate because there's so much that's going on in these books, and honest to God, I kind of love them. Like, I think they're so fun to read about. And they're just really pretty. Like, it's such like a bright cover, and then the others are also all like super bright, and personally I love them, so ACOTAR. Then we have another Leigh Bardugo book, which is Ninth House, which is not in this universe. I think it's the first book that she's written that isn't in the Grishaverse universe. It is currently a duology, but I think she's making a third book. I'm not certain, but I think so. It's like dark academia fantasy. It's about secret societies in Yale and like people who can see ghosts or something like that. It seems really interesting. Apparently it's very dark and has a lot of trigger warnings, so I would maybe look those up before reading. But I'm very excited because I love Leigh Bardugo and I love her writing, and I love the way that she makes characters. I've genuinely never had such a love for characters in the ones that she writes, so yeah. Then I have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This book, first of all, I think it is so beautiful. It's just like stunning, and also I've heard it classified as a modern classic, which I feel like is very rare, especially for fantasy books, to be kind of put into that classics world. It takes a lot more, but it has been, and that's really exciting. And I've heard her writing is just like beautiful and amazing. This book is really great, and it's a standalone fantasy, which I feel like are quite rare, so I'm really excited for this one. And I think it's about like a circus that like shows up at night and then vanishes or something, and then there's like two competitors that are like vying for like the same role in the circus, but it's also magic. I don't know, we'll see when I read it, but I'm excited, and it's just so pretty. Then this has all been fantasy so far, and now we're doing a hard shift to literary fiction. I've been in a very big fantasy mood lately. Like, I've literally just been straight up reading like only fantasy, so literary fiction has not been calling to me as much, which is strange because I used to be like only a literary fiction girly. I still love literary fiction, I've just been in the mood for fantasies, but I decided to get some that I've heard amazing things about and that I've thought were really interesting. And the first one is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. Now, you've probably heard of Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I don't know if it was her debut novel, but it was like the first one that was like super well known, and it was a story about Hamnet, who is the son of Shakespeare, but it was like they didn't mention Shakespeare's name in it anywhere, and it was very much like about Hamnet's mother, and I assume that her writing is very like woman lens focused because the blurb on this is so short, but it's so captivating. It just says, in the winter of 1561, Lucrezia, Duchess of Ferrara, is taken on an unexpected visit to a country villa by her husband Alfonso. As they sit down to dinner, it occurs to her that their journey to this lovely place has a sinister purpose. He intends to kill her. I just think that sounds so cool, and I loved Hamnet. I thought her writing was amazing. I'm just very excited. Like, that sounds so badass. And then we have Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, which you've probably heard about if you're like a reader. Super well known. I believe it came out last year, and the premise actually like sounds like stupid, but everyone is like obsessed with this book and has said that it evokes so much emotion from them and that they've like cried buckets reading this. But it's about like these two kids or teenagers that are like developing a video game together. See, like, it doesn't seem like the most intriguing premise to me. Like, it's been hyped up so much and like everyone loves this book that I thought I like had to read it finally. And I think the paperback is so pretty with like the glistening bits. Yeah, I'm such a paperback girly. Like, this was out in hardcover for so long, and that's why I was like, there's no way that I'm like buying and reading that. Maybe I'll read it like digitally, but it was also like buy one get one with the marriage portrait, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. And literally all of these books together cost like £50, so thank you. And then last but certainly not least is Emma by Jane Austen. This and Sense and Sensibility are the only two Jane Austen books that I have yet to read. And I do own this, but I have it in like a very special, fancy hardcover, like beautifully bound copy that is like kind of difficult to read in. It's kind of more for like the aesthetic. Like I have most of the Jane Austens. They're like, it's like a Barnes & Noble's special edition if you want to look it up. But I thought I'd get a nice paperback that I could read, and it looks so skinny. Literally, do not be fooled. This is like 500 pages. Yeah, Emma's not a skinny book. It's just that Penguin English Library books, the paper is literally like Bible thin. Like it is so skinny that like they always look skinny, but they're really not. And I'm really excited to read this because everyone says that Emma is Jane Austen's best novel, her greatest novel, and I love all Jane Austens that I've read so far, so I'm very excited. But yeah, that's the books I got. I love books so much. Like this is just, I love it. I literally got 7 books and it was only £50. Like that's actually wild. They're so pretty. Oh, I'm so excited to read these. Like actually I had this thing going where like I would only let myself buy a book physically when I finished a physical book off my physical TBR. So it's like I don't like have a bunch of books and then I don't end up reading them, because that's what happens with my books at home. But I was like, you know what, for my birthday I'm gonna splurge and only buy books that I've like really been wanting and I know that I'm in the mood to read. These 3 are like less in the mood to read, but like Emma, like I know I'm gonna read Jane Austen. Like I know, because I've read all of her others except for Sense and Sensibility, so it's like I know it's gonna happen. This I know, like I feel like I'd read this in like December or January just because it gives, and I don't know. And then tomorrow, like I know I'll get to her eventually, so that was my like reasoning for these 3. I was like, you know what, even though I'm in like a fantasy headspace, let me get a few books that aren't fantasy because it is my birthday and I'm allowed to get books. Okay, so that's my book haul, and that was probably like so long and uncalled for, but I love books. So okay, I have like 25 minutes. I'm gonna read a bit more and head out the door. Let's see, whose POV am I in right now? What I love about the Grisha verse book, well, not Shadowbone I believe is all in Alina's POV, but the Six of Crows duology and the King of Scars duology are both in like alternating perspectives, and this one is Zoya, Nikolai, and Nina. And I'm about to start a Zoya chapter, and I freaking love Zoya, so let's do it. Hey guys, I'm gonna say it was a very successful trip. I got a sweater, which is lovely. The place that I wanted to go into, it's called Sparks Bristol. It's like a big building that has like a bunch of different little sustainable pop-ups, but apparently it's closed only on Tuesdays. Didn't know that, so didn't end up going there. But I went to Sobeys, which is this like, it's like a chain of like more curated things, and I got this sweater that I showed you guys. But yeah, I really like it. It's like, I like that there's blue in it so that it's not just like black and white. It brings a little bit of color, but it's not like so much color right now. I do really like those like super vibrant sweaters, but I gotta ease into it because I've never been a big sweater girl, so I need to like slowly progress. So we've got one to start with, and now I gotta do my readings because I have a 9 a.m. seminar tomorrow for the lecture that I had today. So I have to do like all the readings in this little time frame. So fun. I'm gonna go do that. Oh yeah, the class is Politics of the Global South, so it's all about like colonialism, how it affects both colonized lands and the colonizers. Yeah, it's really interesting. I really like that class, so time to do some readings on that. I am currently listening to the audiobook for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Every year I do a yearly reread of Harry Potter, and the audiobooks are so good. Like, the narrator is just, it's Jim Dale, his version. It's so good because he does different voices for everyone, and I just love it. And yeah, I gotta finish that before the year is over. I only have 2 months, so I gotta crack on to that. So I'm gonna go do some readings. Sadly I cannot listen to a book while I'm doing my reading, so I'm probably gonna put on 1989 Taylor's version or Midnight's, one of those two. The time of night has arrived where I can get in bed with my little tea that actually matches my hoodie and read and watch TV. It's like 7:20, but I finished all my readings and I have a 9 a.m. tomorrow, so I have to get up at 7, so time to get ready for bed. Urgh. I was in the kitchen with one of my flatmates and he had made chips and I got some, so very happy. I freaking love chips, man. Delicious. He was curious about my choice of tea because here tea is specifically like English black tea, and I am a herbal tea kind of girl. So I'm gonna read, I'm currently reading, I already told you guys, Rule of Wolves, and then I kind of want to watch a show, maybe YouTube, because I don't have any shows that I want to watch. Oh, I should watch Great British Bake Off because I haven't watched like the last 3 episodes. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. Me in bed. I love bed. Me and bed are besties, and we're just gonna be chilling. I love this book so much. Oh my god. I love that like one of the characters in this book I wasn't even the biggest fan of until I got into this duology, and now I'm like obsessed with it. It's so good. Okay, time to wash my face and like get into bed.